Hey everybody, it's Mr. XStitch here. Thought I'd do another fly-through video where I give you a quick update on what's going on, because it's been a while. It has been a while. Where are we? July. It's July. Young Annie here has had her first birthday and discovered the power of walking. So that's very exciting. Young Herbert survives and thrives. All is well. There's never any time to get anything done. I wanted to just give you a quick rundown of the things I've been up to, because there's been a lot going on. I've got some interesting products I thought I'd mention. I'm currently running two XStitch alongs. The first one, Cagliostro, enters its third part on the 15th of July. It's a beast of a thing, I tell you. It's been really exciting to see people stitch it, and it's going to be an amazing piece of pixelated art when it's finished. Here's an image of part one, so you can see how groovy it is. There's still time to get involved, and you can just buy the design and finish it at your leisure anyway. I would heartily recommend it. It's a good fun piece to do. And then following the success of that, I think we had over 200 people sign up to that XStitch along in the first place. I launched another one, the 12 Days of Xmas, which is a 12-part modular cross-stitch design. I mean, basically it's 12 parts, it's 12 hoops, it's 12 designs, 12 days of Christmas. Doesn't require a huge amount of imagination to work out the deal there, but it's got a mid-century vibe and people are enjoying it. That comes out on a fortnightly basis. It started on the 1st of July. People are enjoying that again, and we've got, I do love the little Facebook group that we've got set up for that stuff. It's so much fun. We have a good laugh there with people, dad jokes, just general banter. It's a very supportive community. Lots of people willing to help one another. So if you've never done an XStitch along before and you want to know what the score is, you can just ask and people will help you in their droves. I feel like a proud father of a bunch of 200 children, many of whom are far better than I. But that's been great. It has been very rewarding, and it's been nice to be able to have a couple of projects running alongside the magazine while we flail around trying to get the other bits and pieces done in the time that we have spare. I'm just on the cusp of launching a remixed version of the Mr. XStitch 2020 calendar, which is just a little pattern book called 2020 Visions. The calendar was an amazing success on Kickstarter last year. Over 1,000% funded, and I will be doing another Kickstarter for another campaign this year, so watch that space. And yeah, I just thought the patterns really didn't get as much of a run out as they could have done, so I'm putting them together in a downloadable PDF. There's 13 patterns in total with some fantastic designs by people. Here's a quick preview. So if you want to get hold of that, you should be able to buy it in the shop right now at the bargain price of only £6 UK sterling. That's £6. That's 50p a design from an international raft of designers. That's a pretty unbeatable price if you ask me. So yeah, I mean, that's the sales pitch done, folks. But I just really wanted to get out there and mention some of the things that you can buy, because I rarely do that. I rarely get time to sit down and chat with you video people anyway, and I miss you. I'm so grateful that I have this many subscribers these days. It's wonderful to see people signing up. I'm glad that my videos have value, and I just hope that I can find the time to do more. But there are so many plans afoot. There are so many plans afoot. Let me tell you about what else I've been doing. I signed up for a thing called Project 24, which is run by some guys that have a YouTube channel called Income School, and basically the idea is that you can use some very intelligent tactics to develop a niche website to the point of sustainability within 24 months. Now obviously I've already got one niche website, Mr. XStitch, which has been going for 12 years and is probably the longest running needlework blog that longest running needlework blog in the world, I like to think. Dog stops to sniff. I'm walking through a field. There's a lot of cows in this field, so I can't let the dog off. The last time we came to this field, actually, we got slightly harangued by cows. There were just a gang of them. There's a gate that we just went through over there, and there's a whole gang of them in front of the fence, and we sort of managed to walk through the gang, and as we started walking across this field, they started following us, and it was quite intimidating, because it's like It's one thing to be surrounded by a gang of teenagers, another thing to be surrounded by a gang of teenage cows who weigh best part of a ton each. So even Herb wasn't very happy about that. We swiftly beat a retreat on that one. Yeah, the Project 24 thing's really interesting because obviously I've got an existing website that's been going for over a decade, and it's quite sort of bloated in search terms, and it's given me an interesting focus to see if I can remix the website and prune it down to a point where it's quite effective. You know, we've got so many great posts about so many great topics. Just have to try and bring them up to the modern standard, and hopefully it'll, I don't know, just hang on in there, maybe bring in a bit more revenue and that sort of thing. I'm really grateful that the XStitch Magazine continues to grow and thrive, and we've got over 600 subscribers. The latest issue, Noir, came out and was an absolute corker. I haven't done a trailer video for it, I just haven't had the time, but here's a sneaky preview. That was great fun to create, and it's nice, you know, it's got a crime comic inside it. It was fun to get all those ideas together, and I'm currently working on issue 13, the theme of which is fortune. Are you feeling lucky? Are you stitching lucky? Maybe that's a phrase. Are you stitching lucky, punk? So I'm really grateful that the magazine is at a point of sustainability. That's been a real relief, particularly when the world's gone a bit topsy-turvy and I've been spending a lot of time looking after the girls. What is it? There's a lot of poo. Is that what you can see? And then, yeah, I mean, and so with the Income School guys, I discovered their YouTube channel last year, and it inspired me to set up another niche website called Hedge, which is all about hedge trimming and topiary, of which I know some, but not a lot, much to my wife's amusement. But slowly but surely there's some interesting posts being written on Hedge. I'm doing a lot of the research myself, but I've also commissioned other people to write the posts, and we've done a couple of product reviews and stuff, and that's a really interesting experience because some of the techniques that they show you, and you can visit their YouTube channel to find out for yourself, but some of the techniques they show you really do work in terms of how you can win the snippet for a certain search term or question on YouTube and stuff. So it's been fun to do that with Hedge, and similarly to then try and retrofit the concepts to a much bigger website, which is a particular challenge. And they've got a technique that they call the battleship technique, which is something I'm going to dig into when I get a chance and have a look to see what posts have been doing well on Mr. XStitch and what posts haven't, and then really just be quite brutal and go, you know, but despite my best intentions, you know, some of the shorter posts we've got, the content might just not be worth keeping, so it might be better to just focus down and drill down. And to that extent, I've kind of reconfigured the site around certain themes. Cool cross-stitch, 3D textile art, a theme called the World of Embroidery, which I'm quite interested in, which looks at multicultural aspects of embroidery, and possibly, you know, I'm hoping to get a column about sort of trans stitchers, you know, so looking at gender and looking at culture and looking at diversity and all those sorts of things, and exploring the textile traditions, because we've got a lot of content in that kind of arena already. So, and it's just trying to reposition the website so that actually it starts to feature well on search for these terms, and then the traffic can grow, which means it'll bring in a little bit more income, and that will be sustainable. So then I'll have, hopefully, Mr. XStitch site that runs well, have the XStitch Magazine that runs well, have Hedge that runs well, have my brand new niche idea that I decided about the other day, about a little sport. Oh baby, what's the matter? She doesn't want me to tell you about the sport, that's the problem. But yeah, and it's just trying to execute all these ideas when I've only got 2 days and a few evenings and weekends to get it through. But yeah, there's nothing like a bit of focus and a bit of enthusiasm, and I am, you know, the Project 24, there's a really good community. It's not cheap, it's like £400 for the year, but you get a lot of value from it, and they all say that, but it's true, because there's a plugin that helps you with affiliate links. They've got a WordPress theme that will really help you. There's so many training courses and ideas on there, and I already feel like I've learned a lot, and at the same time I've been doing this for a decade, so So yeah, I mean, that's been quite nice for sort of, what is it they say in the 7 habits of highly effective people? Sharpening the saw, keeping your skills up. So that's been a bit of fun. And yeah, the rest of the time I'm out here in rural Cheshire, looking after the girls, walking the dog, doing a bit of cooking, doing a bit of surviving. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to complain. I can't complain about life. I think the world is so topsy-turvy at the moment that the fact that I've been able to keep my business going, the fact that my girls are happy, the fact that we've got a roof over our head and, you know, my wife enjoys her new job and blah, blah, blah. Like, I've got nothing to complain about. I feel immensely grateful for the way things have worked out and for the people that have helped me and, you know, for the support of everybody, the support of you guys. I feel immensely grateful to have so many subscribers on YouTube when I put out so few videos at the moment. But I love you all and I'm glad that you're here, and I hope you'll stick around because I'll make these videos whenever I get a chance, even if they're rough and ready like this one. I'll do my best. So yeah, to recap. Oh no, hang on. Have I read any good books lately? Have I listened to any good books lately? I've used some good secateurs lately. If you ever want a good pair of secateurs, Felco 12s, they're like 45 quid, but you know, they'll last you forever. They've got a rotating handle which turns when you squeeze, so you'll never get a blister. I'll put a link in the show notes so that's kind of where I'm at. Have I read any good books lately? I have enjoyed, I haven't read it, but I was really impressed with Emma Congdon's new book, Cross Stitch for the Soul. Link to that, because that's got some great patterns. Emma's just a marvel when it comes to typography and phrases and all those sorts of things. Emma's the best. So that's a really good book. So yeah, if you haven't bought that, I would get that one in your arsenal. Once you've already bought 2020 Visions, the new selection of patterns available via XStitch Magazine. Yeah, I suppose the thing is because I listen to books on audio, I've not had a lot of chance because I've been listening to all this content from Project 24. They've got a podcast I've been listening to and stuff, so yes, that's where I'm at right now. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you improve your business, where you get your mojo from, and all those sorts of things. It's been interesting for me to, you know, learn from other people, see what I'm doing well, see what I'm not doing so well, carve out the time to just try and tweak these things. Yeah, sometimes I think it'd be great to have 5 days a week to focus on this. Other times I think, look at my little friend here, I get to hang out with her 2.5 days a week. What's not to love about that? So yeah, I think I know where my balance is. I'll get there in the end. I am, after all, the kingpin of contemporary embroidery. Also, thinking about it, there's next year I'm doing a Stitch weekend in Bristol. I'll put a link in the show notes with Arena Travel. They're the ones who organise these Stitch-based tours. They're doing with Jane Greenoff and various other people. And we're going to do one where you go to Bristol and it's a weekend and we look at all the cool graffiti in Bristol and then we try and design our own graffiti-based cross-stitch patterns and stuff like that. So it'll be a good fun weekend. We'll make sure it's a good time. So if you're up for that, again, link in the show notes. So let's recap the links. There's a weekend away with Mr. XStitch in Bristol that you can go on. There's a remixed version of the 2020 calendar you can buy. There's XStitch Magazine that you can buy the latest copy of. And then there's Emma Congdon's book, some secateurs, and probably more. I don't know. Click all the links, why don't you? No, anyway, people. You can tell I'm just making this up on the fly, can't you? I've now got to wade through a very large puddle. And I don't think I'm going to do that on camera, so I'm just going to take the time to say, I love you all. I miss you all. Thanks for being part of the experience, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Lots of love. Happy stitching.